Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Wyatt from Mrs. Wyatt's Wise Owl Teacher Creations. And today we're going to talk about an instructional reading strategy that will help students when they're blending sounds together. And this strategy is called continuous blending. So the first thing we want to talk about is continuous sounds versus stop sounds. Continuous sounds are sounds that are made with an uninterrupted flow of air through the mouth or nose. And continuous sounds can be held for about 2 seconds or until we run out of breath, and they will blend smoothly with the next sound. Here's a list of the continuous sounds, and just notice that all vowels are considered continuous sounds. And this is because of what we know about syllables. Every syllable or word has to have a vowel, and it's because that vowel is the glue. It's what's holding or linking those sounds together. Stop sounds, however, are sounds where the airflow can't be continuously held. Rather, the airflow comes to a halt and is then released. And here are some stop sounds. So if you put your hand in front of your mouth and you make the sound for B, say it, B, B. You should be able to hear that burst of air as that consonant is coming to a stop. And that is what will happen with all of these letters. Now what you need to be very careful about is that when students are saying stop sounds, that they're not putting that schwa or that sound at the end, saying buh, cuh. We don't want to do that because, like I said, that's adding a schwa sound, which is adding an extra sound to the word, and that can affect their reading and spelling. So it's important with stop sounds that they clip that sound. So it would just be b, k, d, g, h, j, k, p, t. And also just want to note again that all vowels are continuous sounds. They're not stop sounds. Knowing the difference between a continuous and a stop sound will help children learn to blend sounds in words. Begin teaching students to blend sounds using continuous sounds because the sounds will blend easier together. So when you start with just continuous sounds, they're going to be able to just glide from that beginning to that medial to the ending sound. And it's also going to help them remember the sounds that they are using to decode that word. Sometimes students, when they're reading, they will forget the beginning and the middle sounds. This strategy will actually help solve that problem. So when you start this strategy, you're going to use the gradual release technique, and that just includes teacher modeling, guided practice with the teacher and students, and then, of course, independent practice. And I just want to note that as you're running through the gradual release technique, it's okay to go back and model as much as needed, and to go back and to have guided practice as much as needed. So to begin with, all of the letters in this word are continuous sounds, so the teacher would model how to read this word. So it would be sam, Sam. And all of these continuous sounds, remember, can be held until you run out of breath. And you would continue modeling this with real and with nonsense words. You could do 3 or 4 examples and then move to guided practice. So at this point, students will be doing this with you. So you could have task cards with words on them, or you could write these words on the board, but you would do this together. And you would ask the kids, okay, so help me as I point to each sound, and you guys can do it with me. F, in, thin. And like I said before, you would do as much practice as the guided practice as the students need, 4 or 5 extra practice. And if you see that you need to go back and model some more, that's okay too. And then finally, we get to the independent practice. And this is where you would give students several words and they would practice reading these words on their own. If you see that they are having difficulty with this task, go back and model and continue with the guided practice until they can successfully practice reading the words themselves. In our next video, we will be discussing continuous blending using continuous and stop sounds. I look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below.